To discuss this issue further, we are now joined by the SACP First Deputy General-Secretary Madala Masuku. Thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. I must say that this is not the first time we've heard of a Reconfigured Alliance.
Yes, it's true. That is not for the first time. We've been talking about it for some time. And now I think the Augmented Central Committee says this is the last lap. We're giving you the last lap. Go and do your consultation, because the previous consultation that we've had, it reached a point where there was an agreement on a common framework on it, and they actually enrich it a little bit and say go back. But if it doesn't work, don't come back. Put us in the ballot.
Surely you've also raised this within the alliance. I remember even last year, you raised this issue with the President Cyril Ramaphosa within the ANC, saying that you are calling for this Reconfigured Alliance. Is the ANC willing to look into this and listen to the SACP's call for this Reconfigured Alliance?
Well, it has been a bit of a delay on their side, because they've been grappling with this concept, because sometimes it is interpreted as a path to walk away, when it is actually linked with the renewal of the ANC itself. You can't renew yourself and then want to work with others, and we don't review the relationship that we've been having with others. So it is within the context of what we said, what we see in your renewal, and the things that we want to address. We think that we have to renew this, because it means that in our case, if that renewal doesn't focus on the poor, doesn't focus on the people, and it doesn't benefit the poor, and it always get those who are actually seeking for profit to benefit, it will not be a good renewal. So we need to reconfigure so that the voice of the SACP must come out very strong in the representation of the poor.
And with this decision to actually contest the 2024 elections, you want the voice of the SACP to be heard. I even remember your GS at the Congress of COSATU saying that the SACP is ready to contest elections. How ready are you?
We're very ready. We're on the ground, and what the Augmented Central Committee have said, and the commitment of the structures, all of them from the province to the district and the branches, we're saying we're going back, and we're clear now in terms of the message that we can tell the community in terms of what is it that we must do. But we are going to persuade them that they should allow us, because the ANC is ours, and we are members of the ANC. We've been building it, we've been working with them, and want them to understand, to assist us, to allow us to have a period of consultation. And if it doesn't work, and we feel like it won't represent what we want people to benefit out of, we'll then call it a quit and then go for a left front.
Do you think that there's a possibility of also this being very difficult for the SACP? Because one would say that you have been calling on for South Africans to vote for the ANC, and now it seems as if you may be changing your tune come 2024. How difficult will this be when you now have to run on your own during the 2024 elections?
Look, it's going to be very difficult, because we spent so many years, I mean almost 101 years now, working and structuring the ANC to be a force that is encompassing all, because we believe that we are sectarian. We look at the poor, or we're looking at the working class. But we thought that the ANC should actually be looking at anybody, whether you want to be rich, whether you want to have profit. But it is going to be a very hard thing to do in our part, because it's like taking your own skin out. Yeah.
Mr. Masuku, if we also take a step back, your voters, or those you will be calling on to vote for your party in 2024, would also ask you what went wrong for you to finally come to this decision. You have raised this for numerous years within the ANC, even as back as 2017, when it comes to you being recognized in the alliance. What went wrong for you this time around for this committee to decide that, look, 2024, it is a time for you to contest the national elections independently?
Look, what we believe is that this alliance will actually achieve a lot of things for the people, but we think that we are beginning to reach a ceiling, and especially when it is coming to the poor, and we can actually see more and more that the richer are becoming richer, the profits are becoming big, but the redistribution to the poor is not there. So we're saying that the message of what is required in our policy is muzzled within this whole thing. So that's why we're saying part of the reconfiguration is to allow the SACP to be independent and even to state its policies that are pro-poor. And in a situation where that is compromised, we must be able to stand and say, no, hang on. We do understand we are driving this program all together, but we think people are going to suffer in the following areas. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, you also contested the by-elections in Metsimaholo in the Free State, and one would say that there was a bit of reception there when it came, to those who actually voted for you. Do you think you were testing the ground then to see if needs be come in the future, because we are headed towards a country that may even find itself in a coalition come 2024?
They were actually reconfiguring the alliance in practice, because what it did, it actually defined, even the discussion of the discussion document that was presented to the Augmented Central Committee, it borrowed too much from there, because what it has done, it has woken up the ANC to be able to pick up the right people, because once the community, because it was like a community platform in that contestation, we open it to the community and say, who do you choose? And you don't necessarily have to choose an SACP leader. You must choose somebody that you know that this one is going to take us forward, and just use the platform. And immediately the community has chosen the SACP leaders. The ANC wake up in the morning and pick them up and say, you're members of the ANC, you're going to be our candidates. So it was like kind of reconfiguring the ANC the alliance in practice.
Come 2024, should you go ahead and, of course, contest those 2024 elections, and there comes a time where we know that we have been told that the ANC may dip below 50%. Are you also then willing to work with the ANC in some sort of coalition?
Yes, that's why part of the condition below, it was saying when we go for a coalition, must have a collective way of working in the coalition. In fact, we must emphasize that we're not contesting the ANC, we're contesting the class, the policies that are biased to the class, and we don't want to go into, if we go into that contestation, it will not be like a beauty contest, you have got a bigger nose, I've got a nice nose. No, it will be more like, this is our program, and we're going with the people, and this is what we're going to. That's why even that manifesto that we're going to have is going to be created by the people, and that's why the structures now are back working with the people, drawing a manifesto. And that manifesto is the one that is we're going to be saying today. This is the manifesto of the left, of the people, of the poor people and the working class. And we want it to be incorporated in our discussion. So if we can agree on that, then we'll move with that manifesto.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, that is Madala Masuku from the SACP, the first Deputy Secretary General, of course, just telling us about when it comes to the 2024 elections, what it looks like for the SACP.